angry, I was upset, I was hurt, depressed. I just kept drinking and drinking and drinking. There was no shut-off valve for me, you know? I couldn't drink enough.
The lifestyle was always there as a little boy. You know, my parents, they drank and stuff like that. So really, I got my first drink when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Grew up with alcoholic parents. Didn't know that they were alcoholic, you know, until I became one myself.
Being in active addiction for over 40 years, you know, counting my little childhood time that I was marijuana, then cocaine, then alcohol and stuff. It added up to 40 years being in active addiction.
It was almost as if I wasn't happy. And then as soon as I started drinking, I was okay, just getting wasted and doing what I was doing.
I had got tired of just being out there traveling around, doing drugs and drinking, so I needed some way to stay.
And it just something clicked in my head that said, you gotta do something different. You gotta change. This is not the way to live. I know now it was God's voice telling me that I needed to change.
When I got to Charlotte Rescue Mission, they gave me the treatment I needed, and they helped me throughout them 90 days, and they gave me hope, is what they actually gave me.
As soon as I realized what was going on, that, you know, this was a place that was changing lives and that could change mine, I just took everything they had to give me and I ran with it.
It's very important to support someone walking away from the lifestyle of active addiction because, first of all, everyone needs a second chance. But secondly, after they've gone through the program and received especially the information that their identity is found in Jesus Christ and not in their drug usage, they can then become the kind of people who can re-enter society and become productive members of society.
Our whole goal is to take people from wherever they are and remediate them if necessary, get them prepared for college level work, then help make them successful in college. Most important thing is that they get the skills to make a living and they get a job.
Well, it's obvious that a job is key to a successful life for most people. I mean, there's the obvious financial part of the job, but then there's also, I think, a deeper sense of pride that comes from your work.
Once you go to the mission, that's not the last stop. You got to hold on to everything that the program gives you. You gain strength from the yeses, but you also gain strength from the no's, and you've got to be able to handle taking the no's. You're not going to get the first job that you apply for. You're not going to get the second. You may not get the third. You may not get the 50th, but you can't give up.
I was looking for work one day and I spotted some people in there, so I knocked on the door. He said, "We're not open yet." And I said, "Well, I came looking for a job."
I saw something in Sam that I really did believe that no matter what it was that he had done in the past, all I said to him was, I could give you a job. The only thing that I ask is you work hard and you don't disappoint me.
This is the third place that I actually looked at and applied to or called about. We set up a time to interview the next day. He hired me on the spot. I was so grateful when I left here. I went out to my car and I cried.
Sure enough, he hired me right there on the spot. And since we opened, I haven't missed a day.
I think everyone deserves a second chance, no matter what it is that has happened in their life.
I think really just recognizing that fact and being sensitive to it and aware of it as either a business owner or someone in a position to influence hiring decisions is just critical.
Now what the Charlotte Rescue Mission is recovering is that beautiful idea of work being a vocation. And when someone's life's been transformed by grace through faith, They don't have an occupation, something that occupies their time from 9 to 5. They have recovered a vocation, a calling from God, and they work for the glory of God, not trying to please an employer or someone around them, but work for the one who is their true boss in heaven.
It makes you feel good. I mean, it makes you feel like you were something again, you know, because being in active addiction for over 40 years, you don't get that kind of feeling when you're doing drugs and alcohol.
For the first time in 30 some odd years, he signed a lease, he bought a car, has a bank account, and has money in the bank. It's a start to get them back on their feet.
Faith is all that kept me going. That's the only thing that held me together when I graduated the program. Having that relationship with Christ and God, knowing that He had it all in His hands for me.
Gratitude is a beautiful thing, and because if you got something to be grateful for, that means that something good has happened.